What's up guys, Trevor here with Ecommerce Paradise. Wanted to give you some tips about how to outsource your e-commerce business with virtual assistants. So if this is your first time hiring a VA, you've never done it before, just know that it's not as hard as it seems, and you can hire VAs for super cheap, and it's a really good idea to get one. Now the main thing is, before you hire a VA, just go and document everything you do throughout the day on your business. And I recommend making videos, like screen recording videos and talking through the things that you do throughout the day, as if somebody's looking over your shoulder and you're showing them. Because when you make these videos, what you can do is you can use AI to automatically create SOPs out of those videos. I use a tool called loom.com, Loom.com. It records your screen and it'll make an SOP document out of that video. And then from there, you can hand that off to a virtual assistant, and then they'll go and do the work, and then you just monitor them. There's a whole plethora of things beyond that, but that's the basis, that's the starting point of hiring VAs, is documenting your work. So the platform that I use to find VAs, full-time VAs, is onlinejobs.ph. If you want to use my affiliate link, it's ecommerceparadise.com/onlinejobs. And it's $69 a month, unlimited access to their Rolodex of VAs. You create a job posting and you'll get applicants, and then you have to screen the applicants and hire somebody. Normally, for data entry, they can start as low as like $2 an hour. For things like customer service, product uploading, things like that, $3 an hour is pretty average. For like a really well-trained VA that has lots of experience already in what you want to do, maybe I'd pay like $4 an hour. And then for management level stuff, maybe up to $5 an hour. But you can start really low with them, and you can have them take over all your busy work, so it's a great thing to do. Now, what you should do with the hiring process is you should create a job listing, but you should also have an application funnel. Application funnels are super important because it's going to weed out a lot of the weak applicants. Number one, you want to weed out applicants that aren't committed, that aren't really serious. They're just throwing out, stuff. They don't really care about you or your business. They just want to make money. You want to weed those people out. Okay, so what I use is Google Forms and Google Sheets. And so if you go to google.com/forms, you'll see the forms, and you can create a form. And you can use ChatGPT. Just tell it like the job, give it the SOPs from the videos you made, and then tell it, hey, can you make an application for me with questions and answers that quizzes people on these things, so that I can know that they already have experience. Because what you really want to do is hire somebody that already has experience with what you're doing. And you'd be surprised, there's definitely VAs out there that have worked for companies like yours before and are looking for work now. So definitely only hire VAs with prior experience. Don't try to hire a fresh VA and train them. It's a nightmare. So use an application funnel, create a form, a quiz form, get them to apply, give all the contact information, and have them leave a voice note for you that reads off a script of some sort, so that you can hear their voice. Once the application funnel is done, just create the job listing, put the link in there, and tell them to fill that out. And then you'll get a bunch of applicants that fill it out, which is great. And then you can look through all of them, and the ones that pass the test, you'll see them in your Google sheet that the form is attached to. You can use conditional formatting to make it like green or red based on the responses, whether they pass the test or not. And then you can really easily see which ones pass the test. Once that's done, you'll be able to see which applicants are basically the most qualified, and you can have meetings with them. I use Google Meet, so you can just have a quick meeting with them, talk to them, get an idea, the kind of people they are. Give them the offer, and then ask them when they can start, or give them a start date, see if they can start then, and then you start training. So the first week or two is usually a trial period, and you do your training and you go through it and you monitor the results. I use a time tracking software, Clockify. It's free. Clockify is really easy to use, and has premium features as well. So you just want to give the VA a way to clock their time. If you're worried about the VA, what they're doing on their computer, you can use more expensive tools like Hubstaff. I've used Hubstaff in the past. They can actually take screenshots of the computer screen of the VA, so you can see what they're doing. What I recommend doing is, during the training period, just do a screen share with the VA and show them everything. And then, give them access to each of the tools that you use. Like if it's an e-commerce store, for example, it's Shopify, your phone system, your Gmail, Google Sheets and Google Drive and all that, Google Docs, any particular other thing you want them to work on. I use Slack for all my team communication, so that's the first thing I do, is I onboard them to Slack so I can talk to them through there. Slack is really cool because you can have channels and different topics, and tagging people and can talk in threads and whatnot. So I used to use Facebook, had like a workplace thing, but it doesn't really work that great. So Slack is what I recommend now. And then over time, you just want to monitor their performance, make sure that they're working well. I've had VAs slack off and be lazy and kind of be stupid and not do things right. You really want to make a decision quickly when a VA starts showing signs that they're not really engaged or not doing the work and they're not really interested. I would say once you start noticing that, give them like a 3 strikes and you're out kind of a thing. You know, if it happens once more, okay, this is your final warning. If it happens again, you're out, and then do it. Because if you let a VA just continue to act like that and keep giving them, you know, the opportunity to just be lazy and stuff, they're going to see that and they're going to know that, and they're going to keep being lazy, and it's gonna drag your business down. It's going to make your business less successful than it could be. So I would definitely recommend getting rid of VAs that are B players. I made that mistake and hanging on to them way too long, and I know that it's just a terrible idea, so don't do it. Get VAs that are A players. It's going to make your business so much better. And just, you know, be committed to checking up on them consistently and asking them. Have, you know, video meetings with your VAs on a consistent basis, or just ask them. You know, some VAs are like really introverted. Those are usually the ones doing data entry and stuff like that. Some VAs are extroverted. Those are usually the ones doing customer service and sales. So I would just recommend at least having video meetings with your extroverted VAs and having text-based meetings with your introverted VAs. But get to know these people. You know, they're the lifeblood of your business once you get them going, and you want them to be happy. You want them to feel fulfilled, and you want them to be, you know, productive, you know, and productive human beings are happy human beings, right? So make sure they're happy. But that's it, guys. You know, hiring VAs is not that complicated. It's just a process that every business owner goes through when they start getting to that point where they realize that work needs to get done and they don't want to do it, or, you know, maybe they can't do it and they need somebody who can do it for them. So yeah, I've done it so many times. I've had a team at 30 VAs at one point during the pandemic when I was doing, you know, 10 million a year in revenue. Now my business is back down below $1 million a year in revenue, but we're working on getting that back up there. And you know, my team is only 3 VAs now, but it is what it is. You know, you'll go through huge ups and downs as an entrepreneur. My first year in business, I think when I hit that 100,000 a year mark, I was just like so happy, and I quit my day job. The next year we did 500,000 in sales, and I was so happy. And then I sold my first store at that point. You know, I'd never had over like 10,000 in my bank account. I had 50,000 in my bank account all of a sudden. I was like 2015-ish. And then I just went traveling for a year, which is a huge mistake. I should have gotten something else going. But then, you know, finally, right before I ran out of money, I got something going, and ended up creating a new store, making, you know, close to $1 million in sales that next year. And then we sold that business, and then started another one, and then same thing over and over again. So all I've been doing for the past 15 or so 20 years is I've been building stores and selling them, building, selling. And you know, that's what I offer with Ecommerce Paradise is done for you services. Basically, we build you a store. You know, we even have a management service now where my team manages your store for you, which is amazing. So you don't have to do that. And then on the back end of that, you're able to eventually sell your store once, you know, you have a consistent profit basis with it for at least 6 months. You can sell it for, you know, 24 to 36 a multiple. Usually it's like closer to like 30, 24, 30, but you know, still it's an asset. You know, you're building an asset. It's able to be sold. So that's kind of the idea. And online businesses are great because they cash flow, you know, and if you're making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, you can probably quit your day job and live in a cheap place like Bali, or, you know, Bangkok, or Kuala Lumpur, one of these like less expensive cities in Southeast Asia. Having a VA run, you know, your customer service and sales, daytime US. That's what I did for the past 10 years or so. And you know, it's a great life, but everybody goes through phases. I went through a phase of my life in the last decade where I really wanted to travel a lot, and I kind of got that, you know, done. I'm happy with my experiences in Asia. I want to be back in the US for a while, and I really love Los Angeles. I love the community out here. People are so cool, and I'm a skateboarder, and that's why I love it so much, is because it's just a city for skateboarders. So yeah, I'm gonna try to live out here for a while, and I want to be back on US time so I can serve clients better. I want to be back on US time so I can talk to suppliers and I can build a better business, and I have, more impetus to do YouTube as well and serve you guys. So thanks so much for being part of the community, guys. I appreciate it. Definitely get my free niches list. I just made a new niches list, 1,000 niches. Go to ecommerceparadise.com/niches. These are product categories that are high ticket that you can sell. It comes with a whole niche research guide, kind of everything you need to get started. I have a free mini course on high ticket dropshipping, how to do it, all that stuff, things you need to know beforehand. You can find that on the website. And of course I have a masterclass and community behind that as well. You can find all the links in the description. Definitely subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions. You can reach me at Trevor at ecommerceparadise.com. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video.